Coming up on Unpeeled, we recap the Golden Globes.
Disney's Pinocchio remake adds to its cast.
A Jonas brother teases new music.
And lots of drama in the world of The Bachelor. Unpeeled starts right now.
Welcome back to Unpeeled. I'm Katie Lane.
And I'm Sam Lebowitz. Our first story is a big one, almost like a certain real boy's knows when he lies. Disney's Pinocchio remake is adding some star power. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Cynthia Erivo are joining the cast as Jiminy Cricket and the Blue Fairy. Luke Evans and Keegan-Michael Key are also joining the cast, previously headlined by Tom Hanks. Director Robert Zemeckis' live-action adaptation does not have a release date yet, but it will drop only on Disney+.
Channing Tatum's production company, Free Association, is now part of MGM. The studio has signed Tatum's company to a first-look deal. Free Association has previously worked on Tatum's films like 22 Jump Street and the Magic Mike franchise. They're working together with MGM on Tatum's directorial debut, titled Dog, releasing in theaters later this year.
ABC's first Black Bachelorette is speaking out about Chris Harrison's departure from the Bachelor franchise. Rachel Lindsay said on her podcast yesterday that the franchise should postpone filming new seasons until its current issues are resolved. Harrison was removed as host after defending the past racist behavior of current contestant Rachel Kirkconnell.
It really has been the most dramatic season yet on The Bachelor. The past month alone has been filled with so much Bachelor content, controversy, and chaos, and Monday's Women Tell All lived up to every bit of it.
Much of the night's conversation centered around the problematic content we've experienced this season. To start, contestant Rachel Kirkconnell is still in hot water after asking fans to stop backing up her racist past behavior. Throughout the season, Rachel's former classmates were posting stories about the contestant, detailing how she would tease girls for liking black men. And for those who don't watch The Bachelor, the current Bachelor, Matt, this season's Bachelor is a black man. The first black Bachelor in franchise history.
Then comes February, and people began digging deep into Rachel's social media, bringing pictures of Rachel at an Old South antebellum-themed party from 2018 into the spotlight. And
Chris Harrison, The Bachelor's franchise host, defended Rachel in an interview, claiming that they were wrong for calling out Rachel and argued that she was just having fun at the party in question.
Mid-February, Chris Harrison announced he would be taking a break from hosting The Bachelor, but having already filmed the season, he would still appear in this season's episodes.
And the franchise announced Sunday former NFL linebacker Emmanuel Acho will replace Harrison for the After the Final Rose episode. Now, Katie, what else can you tell us about this Women Tell All?
Well, Sam, did I mention it was a season of conflicts? So what better way to start off the Women's Tell All with it other than the opening date montage, than by ripping open old wounds, like the ones between MJ and Jessenia. The two fought their whole duration because Jessenia was on one of the new girls to show up late in the season. Victoria was also one of the ones picking fights with the new girls and everyone else. She really thinks she's the queen of everything and didn't own up to anything during the special. Then Brittany entered the hot seat, and cue the problematic montage of Anna calling her an escort. Brittany discussed the depression she had faced after leaving the show, something many of the girls shared about. And the final montage followed a major joke from the season, Matt kissing with his eyes open. Oi, Sam, what a roller coaster, but don't worry, they ended with some classic bloopers from the season, and for next week, we can look forward to Fantasy Suites.
Thanks for breaking that down for us, Katie. Now, Nick Jonas surprised fans with a new single and the announcement of a new album last week. The song is the lead single and title track off his new album, Spaceman, and the record will be the youngest Jonas Brothers' third solo release. And fans won't have to wait long. The full album drops on March 12th.
Jonas debuted a second new song this weekend on Saturday Night Live. He performed This Is Heaven in addition to Spaceman as the musical guest while also hosting the show. He followed up his SNL appearance by performing on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon earlier this week. Man, Sam, those SNL performances were absolutely great. The debut of Spaceman and This Is Heaven, as well as his debut as an SNL host and his second time performing solo as a musical guest, outside of his performances with the Jonas Brothers. Great, great stuff there, Sam. What did you think about it?
I thought it was an amazing performance. I thought it was one of the best stage productions that I've ever seen SNL put on. That cone of light around Nick when he took the stage for Spaceman, it really felt like he was like an actual spaceman. It was really cool.
I know. What a fantastic job for being the host and the musical guest. And I love how they had cast members introduce him, and then Kevin the second time announcing him. And Kevin also appeared earlier in the episode during Nick's monologue.
Right, and we're just starting to see content that kind of is directly affected by the pandemic. Like, for instance, this song Spaceman talks about Nick's feelings. There's lyrics about him wearing a mask and all that stuff.
Yeah, Sam, really, really great stuff there. Also in the news, we have the American Country Music Awards. The American Country Music Awards unveiled their nominees. Chris Stapleton and Maren Morris led the way with 6 nominations each. Stapleton is up for the night's top honor, Entertainer of the Year, a category that features no women this year.
But while women were snubbed in that big category, they made up all 5 nominees for Single of the Year, including Maren Morris' single, The Bones. With 5 nominations, Miranda Lambert is in prime position to extend her record for most awarded artist in ACM history, and you can catch the awards on April 18th. And Katie, I'm going to be honest, it was pretty discouraging to see that women were shut out of the Entertainer of the Year category. Country music is really trying to be more inclusive to women, you can tell, but they're not quite doing it everywhere yet. A woman hasn't outrightly won Entertainer of the Year at the ACM since 2011 when Taylor Swift did it. I will say, though, last year, Carrie Underwood split the award with Thomas Rhett.
Yeah, that was really, really nice to see. Miranda Lambert actually follows Maren Morris and Chris Stapleton with 5 nominations for the 56th annual ceremony, including her 15th nomination for Female Artist of the Year. Lambert is the most nominated female artist in ACM history with 68 lifetime nominations.
I will say it seemed a little weird to see a list of nominees for country music without Morgan Wallen on it, but obviously he had a whole host of controversies this year, barred from contention actually after he was caught saying a racial slur on camera earlier this year. Definitely deserves it, but I was still kind of felt a little weird to not see him on a list rather. Mm-hmm. And the Golden Globes kicked off award season on Sunday, and the Oscars are just around the corner. Despite a year of production delays and cancellations, the 93rd Academy Awards has the highest number of eligible films since 1971. This year, one of 366 eligible films will take home the title for Best Picture.
Because of theater closures, films were able to qualify by opening for a week in either a commercial theater or a drive-in theater in one of 6 different cities in the U.S. The Academy also added 2 months to the eligibility window. Nominations will be announced on March 15th.
And as we get closer to nominations, I definitely think it's time to start taking a closer look at some of the films that are getting buzz, especially the big winners from the Golden Globes, which we're obviously going to talk about later. Critics are starting to handicap films like Nomadland and Trial of Chicago 7 for Best Picture favorites, especially after Nomadland took home Best Drama at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, and starting this week, Academy members will choose 5 to 10 Best Picture nominees. Nomination voting will close on March 10th, and nominees in all categories will be announced on March 15th, as we said before. We will definitely keep you updated as more Oscar noms are released. One of the nation's largest movie chains is giving out hefty bonuses to its top executives, AMC. AMC will be paying its leaders millions of dollars for work done during the pandemic. Unpeeled industry reporter Yao Bonsu details what led AMC's CEO to make this decision. Yao?
Thanks, Katie. AMC Entertainment is awarding CEO Adam Aron and other executives, quote, supplemental special incentive cash bonuses. In other words, the company is paying its higher-ups for navigating through the pandemic. At first, it sounds great because it's just the company taking care of its employees, but it actually goes much deeper than that. Aaron gets around $4 million, while CFO Sean Goodman will be paid about $500,000. However, the problem is not with the pay disparity, but rather with the fact they got paid at all. I'm not here to tell a company how to spend their money, but let's be honest here. It was only a few months ago that AMC was facing bankruptcy, but now, since the pandemic, the company is back on its feet. It feels like that means the top executive should get a bonus, but I don't really think so. What about the other 600 executives that the company laid off due to COVID-19? Or the other 26,000 employees that lost their jobs? Attitude reflects leadership, and leadership doesn't allow their company to suffer as much as AMC did. Bottom line is that AMC needs to look at everyone and not just the leaders that contributed to their company sinking. More people need help than people need bonuses. Use that money and give back to those who are unemployed instead of making the rich get richer. No matter what, though, for a company like AMC, as long as theaters reopen and butts are in those seats, nothing else matters. Back to you guys.
Absolutely, thank you, Yao. Coming up on Unpeeled, Billie Eilish's documentary is streaming on Apple TV+. Our pop culture reporter is here to give us a glimpse into the documentary.
But first, Viacom CBS's streaming service launch is just hours away. Find out what you can expect to watch on Paramount Plus after the break.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Viacom CBS's new streaming service launches tomorrow, and Unpeeled's industry reporter Yao Bonsu is back to explain what you can expect to see on Paramount Plus. Yao?
Thanks, Sam. You said it. Paramount Plus is set to launch tomorrow, and what a catalog it has in store. Over 30,000 episodes, 2,500 movie titles, and much more. But before I get to any of that, let's flash back to last year where a certain reporter on the show had one horrible opinion about the new streaming platform. And Sam, you might just recognize them. It's absolutely ridiculous that they made this move. And from an entertainment perspective, this is probably one of the worst moves by entertainment business in 2020.
Yeah, I was getting heated here.
I forgot to mention that reporter was me, I'm sorry, but as the saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day, but that clip was not the time, so there's another loss on my resume. I was wrong and I accept that, but now let's get into why Paramount Plus actually has a golden opportunity here. People don't often realize that Viacom CBS owns a ton of content that we all keep up with today. It is for that reason why Paramount Plus is trending up towards success. Looking at the lineup for the streaming service, it includes an iCarly reboot, one of Nickelodeon's most successful shows, a new Rugrats series, and even live-action versions of Dora, Fairly Odd Parents, and Avatar. But don't be fooled, this platform is not only for the kids. Crime, reality, sports, and news programming are all coming to the platform. It's a lot of content, but guess what? The price is right. Paramount Plus will have two different buying options. One plan will be $5 a month and include ads, while the other plan will be $10 a month without them. Back in October, Paramount Plus will never be Disney Plus, will never be Hulu, will never be Amazon Prime Video, and it will certainly never be Netflix. But the difference now, it's going to be pretty close. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Yao. Still to come, our pop culture reporter Nicole Aponte is talking us through the highlights of Billie Eilish's new documentary.
And our music reporter Nick Gutierrez is talking all about Justin Bieber's new album. Find out which songs are confirmed to be on Justice after the break.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa!
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Fans are raving about Billie Eilish's new documentary. Her documentary, The World's a Little Blurry, premiered on Apple TV Plus last Friday. Eilish is one of 3 artists who has won Record of the Year and Song of the Year at the Grammys the same year that they won Best New Artist. Her documentary gives viewers a glimpse into her quick rise to stardom.
This is my parents' bed, and I sleep in here because I'm scared of monsters in my room. Billy! Oh! I love you.
Unpeeled's pop culture reporter Nicole Aponte is here to tell us what else Billie Eilish's new documentary shows. Nicole, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to talk all things Billie Eilish with you. So what exactly does this documentary highlight?
So it's definitely a coming-of-age story of Billie Eilish and how her and her brother Phineas really use her childhood bedroom as a studio to record all of their songs. So they record all their songs, they write all their songs, and they produce all their songs within this bedroom. And total bops have come out of this bedroom too. Bad Guy, all of her songs from her EP album and her new album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? And it's definitely amazing to see her support system of her mom and her dad. They're both musically inclined, and they really helped her come to this stardom, and it's been such a supportive environment for all of them.
Now, I'm sure you saw this documentary, Nicole. What was your favorite part?
So I have to say, I am a Justin Bieber fan, original believer, and so is Billie. I mean, she met Justin at the Coachella show in 2019, and they just embraced each other in their arms, and it was just amazing to see. I cried, Billie cried. It was a great part of the film. It's great to see that Justin has went through all of these problems and really been through childhood fame, which is not the easiest thing to do. And Billie has all of these struggles that she deals with, especially mentally, physically. We see in her shows that she jumps a lot to create like a great experience for her viewers, but she struggles, she has to go to physical therapy and things like that, and she wants her viewers to relate to her. So to have Justin's support behind her is just absolutely amazing.
That is amazing. Nicole, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Justin Bieber is releasing his new album Justice on March 19th, and Unpeeled's music reporter Nick Gutierrez is here to tell us exactly what you can expect in the upcoming album. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Sam, for having me.
So Nick, let's jump right in. What can we expect from this new album?
Well, listeners can expect to hear 3 tracks that were released during the pandemic: Holy, Lonely, and Anyone. Additionally, listeners can expect to hear Justin show off his Spanish-speaking capabilities on the track La Bamba featuring J Balvin. Fans may remember La Bamba being teased on Justin's docuseries Seasons, which served as promotional content for his previous album Changes. However, with 2 weeks to go until the album's release, many of the tracks remain unconfirmed. According to music literacy giant Genius, unreleased tracks that are said to be on the album include Always, Peaches, and Wish You Would. Another unknown is how many tracks will be on the album. According to Genius, the LP will carry 22 tracks. However, according to Walmart, the LP will carry 16 tracks and feature appearances from Giveon, Burna Boy, Beam, The Kid Laroi, and Khalid and Dominic Fike. So many moving parts left on this album.
Right, and this is Justin Bieber's 6th album, and obviously it's Justin Bieber, so there's lots of pressure. How has that pressure affected the workflow of this current album? Well,
along with the COVID-19 pandemic that's brought upon monetary pressure, Justin put himself under immense artistic pressure with this album. After Changes was released on Valentine's Day in 2020, Justin sat down with Zane Lowe, music extraordinaire, and for Apple Music, and he detailed that this album would feature as a follow-up to the magnum opus, Purpose, that released in 2015. So he can't really make an album twice, and Purpose was definitely sequenced amazingly. So there's a lot of moving parts in this album, like I said, so we'll have to see what this album brings.
Absolutely, Nick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, a complete Golden Globes recap from record-breaking wins to devastating losses. Find out everything you missed after the break.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, Unpeelers, this past Sunday was the 78th Golden Globe Awards. Hosted by Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, this year's virtual Golden Globes were certainly one for the books. Here with the highs and the lows of the night is Unpeeled's film reporter Caroline Plant.
Alrighty, well, this year's Golden Globe Awards was one full of excitement across the board. The big winners for film included Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, going to Borat's subsequent movie film, where it stars Sacha Baron Cohen, received the award for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. Soul received the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film and Best Original Score. Chadwick Boseman was awarded the Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, and his wife accepted this award on his behalf. Nomadland got Best Drama Motion Picture, and their director Chloe Zhao was awarded the Best Director of a Motion Picture. Zhao is only the second female ever to win this award. As for television, The Crown swept this year's Golden Globe, racking up nearly 4 awards. The Crown won Best Drama TV Series, Josh O'Connor won Best Actor in a Drama TV Series, Emma Corrin won Best Actress in a Drama TV Series, and Gillian Anderson won Best Supporting Actress in a Series, Miniseries, or Motion Picture made for television. Another notable contender was Schitt's Creek star Catherine O'Hara won Best Actress in a Television Series.
Series, musical, or comedy, but there was so much more to this award this year than the winners. So, Caroline, let's chat.
Alrighty, thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you so much for being here. Now that we've heard about the winners, there were also were there any films or shows that you found deserved better?
Personally, I'm a big Hamilton fan. I absolutely love it. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda did an amazing job with everything that he did for Hamilton. So personally, you know, not seeing Hamilton win a Golden Globe, that one was tough for me. I felt that Broadway was in your living room. You could see it, and it was absolutely amazing. So that was one that I was disappointed didn't get a Golden Globe.
Hamilton was a really, really great show. Again, like you said, Broadway in your living room. Now, talking about the award show specifically, how did the pandemic affect this year's show?
Well, this year's show was obviously held virtually, hosted by Tina Fey in New York and Amy Poehler in Los Angeles. But tech issues riddled this year's Golden Globes. During Daniel Kaluuya's his acceptance speech, the audio cut out. You know, it felt like an unmute yourself moment, as if you were sitting in class. So tech issues did make their way into this year's Golden Globes, and it felt as if you were watching, you know, one of your lecture videos during this.
Right, yes. Caroline, I remember Dan Levy at one point saying, like, wait, am I on? On another note, I know there were some controversies before the show went on. Can you describe a little bit about them?
Yes, so the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, who votes on who gets these Golden Globes, was just found to have 0 black members a part of their organization. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did address this in their opening monologue, but this lack of representation is completely unacceptable in today's day and age. The HFPA did respond by saying, we look forward to a more inclusive future.
A more inclusive future, that is. After the break, Sam and I are discussing other entertainment news we've been following. Don't go anywhere.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay.
God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Well, Sam, one of my favorite stories that we talked about today was Oscar nominations. I am so excited, looking forward to hearing what films are nominated for Best Picture. Do you have any that you're pulling for?
Absolutely. Keep an eye on Nomadland. They had a huge night on Sunday, the Golden Globes. Obviously, they won Best Drama. It's going to be a really big award season for them, and I'm really looking forward to it. But that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Sam Lebowitz.
And I'm Katie Lane. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media. Have a great night, Syracuse.